What's happening, everybody? You're tuned in to the GM podcast. I am your host, Manuel, and my co-host here, Gabby. Please, Gabby, tell everybody what's up out there and let them know what we're talking about today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing great. Today, we'd like to touch bases on why we are misunderstood. And I'm not just referring to you and I, partner. I'm referring to people in general. Why are we misunderstood? I think, for starters, I like to touch bases on jealousy. A lot of people who, for instance, myself, I could only speak for myself because I know who I am. But let's say I come across somebody who doesn't understand me, which is going to be the majority of the time, I think, because I am different. But let's say that I have, I'm working real hard. I'm working diligently and very, very hard to get to a level of my life where I'm going to be proud of myself. And if I come across somebody who doesn't understand that and they see me as either a threat, or they see me as someone who thinks I'm too good, or they think I'm overly confident, they're going to be jealous. And so their jealousy is always, instead of trying to understand me, and instead of trying to figure out who I am or to see the good in me, they're going to be like, oh, she's a show-off. Right. Oh, she's overly confident. Oh, she thinks her shit don't stink. Because instead of trying to understand me, their jealousy takes over, kicks in full gear, and now they're jealous over me or they're hating on me because that is what is now planted in their head instead of trying to understand me.
Right. Yeah, jealousy is a very good explanation in this topic because people that are misunderstood over jealousy is because people are doing something very fucking well. It could, you don't know what they go through, you don't know the ups and downs, or you don't know the punches that they take, the jabs, the backstabbing, like all that stuff like makes you resilient, right? So when the jealousy kicks in, that's because people are like, well, we don't understand what they're going through, but fuck them because, they're doing shit well, and like that's really what people, misguide themselves into understanding on how this person works. So jealousy is a very good one. The lack of respect is another one, because let's say the lack of respect just comes from people not caring about what it is that you're going through, and you're just gonna bypass this person because it's very easy for you to say, you know what, man, I can't respect you because for X reason. There's not really a particular reason at this point. It's just all these align to the lack of respect of misunderstanding somebody.
Yeah, the lack of respect comes from, for instance, you work, and I always talk about working hard because that's really all I know is I've always worked very hard. I've always worked very honest. I don't take anything from anybody. I try my best to do things with integrity and with honesty and with respect. So I work really hard for my name. I work very hard to get to where I'm at. And people come into your life and they only know a little bit about you. Just a little bit, just enough. But they're like, well, they don't deserve my respect. First of all, you come across a person like me, I could care less really what you think about me. But at the end of the day, respect is earned and respect is given. So if I'm always going to come across somebody with respect. Always. That's number one. Always. Until you show me otherwise.
Cross that line.
Yeah, until you cross the line where you no longer deserve my respect. But I think respect is a thing that is earned, right? You meet me for the first time, I don't expect you to love me, to have all this like awe over me. but respect. Because like my partner said here, you don't know what people go through, and this is not about being all, sympathetic and, having this victim mentality over somebody or towards somebody. But we're going to touch bases on compassion and empathy, because there is a fine line between having compassion and empathy towards somebody and to see them as a victim, right? It's a very fine line, but people deserve that. So yes, respect or lack of respect is important in understanding somebody. I think a lot of people come in very different mentalities, different backgrounds, different cultures, different sizes, different colors, different everything. Nobody is identical. Even identical twins are different in their own minds, right? But at the end of the day, if we sit and just step back, let where this is where I'm going to jump into the ego. If you just kind of lower your ego a little bit, because we come with a lot of damage. I think a lot of people come with damage, and so our ego kicks in, right? We go into ego drive, and we don't want to listen. We don't want to understand. We don't want to know why this person is toxic. Even narcissists, right? Even narcissists. There's a reason why, not an excuse, but there's a reason why they are who they are and why they are the way they are. I've come across narcissists, and I've removed myself from their life because I was healthy for me. But I feel bad for them, because this is where the empathy comes in. I feel bad for them because I see them losing a lot of good people. I see them losing a lot of good opportunity because of their narcissist ways. So instead of me adding more fuel to their fire or more damage to their life, I remove myself, but then I have compassion and empathy for them. And instead of degrading them even more or talking about them, because narcissists already have a lot of people talking about them, they don't need one more person to bash them. So I have empathy and compassion for people. So even I have to practice understanding for others.
Yeah, it's very difficult to understand what other people go through, but that's where the lack of the compassion and the empathy kicks in, because you don't realize exactly how hard it is out there. Not to push people aside, or not to not show compassion on what people are going through right now, but it's very easy to misunderstand somebody when you have these characteristic traits built in you. The ego is one of them, because the ego only goes in one direction, and it only fires if it's taunted in a sinful way. So if you're misunderstanding somebody because of these characteristics that you have built in, it's time to start stepping back and start to understand what can we do to start adjusting how we can show more compassion, show more empathy, show more respect, show that your ego has been kind of somewhat suppressed, because it's not a good thing. Exactly. It's not gonna teach you to be a more understanding person towards the person that's really going through the shits. But yeah, these things are all fuel to the fire, man, and we can either learn how to play with fire or not play with it at all.
Yeah, and this is why, kind of touching bases on kind of going back and forth of misunderstanding people and not wanting to. A lot of people, first of all, I feel a lot of people just don't want to understand.
Right.
They misunderstand because they don't take the time to understand. And, speaking on my personal life, that is why I'm so hesitant on moving on with, the whole dating life and the whole dating situation. My life is complicated enough, trying to reach my goals, trying to get to a better place mentally, spiritually, I'm working on myself constantly, and it holds me back from meeting new people, you know, in the dating world, because of this exact topic.
Exactly.
This topic is exactly why I have been unable to move on as far as dating, because they won't understand. Exactly. They won't understand my life. They won't understand why I do the things I do. They won't understand why I'm so passionate, why I'm so hardworking, why I don't stop working. They won't understand. I feel like if you meet somebody, whether it's just a friend, like you, partner, you understand me. That's why you and I get along so well, because you understand. But it's taken some time to get there.
Yeah.
You and I,
didn't understand
yeah.
you the first day that I met you.
Exactly. You and I didn't understand each other the first day. However, I think you and I both saw potential in each other. So we decided to let our egos down, and we decided to bring in the respect, patience, lack of control. You can't control me, and I can't control you. So we decided to try to understand each other. And of course, I'm not 100% going to know you, what goes on in your head 24 hours a day, but it is my responsibility as a friend, and I want to be in your life to try to understand you.
By showing compassion.
Exactly. So I think all of us have dealt through some sort of tragedy, some trauma. All of us. Unfortunately, that is the human life. But I've decided to try to understand you. You know, of course, there are some things the things that trigger us the most is our insecurities. So, you know, back to the dating thing, that has really scared me off for now. I don't have time really to explain my life to anybody. I don't have time to try to make them understand where I'm coming from. So
maybe you're just misunderstanding them.
I fucking get you. You know what? Maybe. I just don't have the time nor energy to go there. But that was a good one, actually. It's probably me. It's you. It's me, not you. But
you're lacking patience.
I'm lacking patience for people who don't understand me. So I guess you're right. I guess it is a revolving door. But you know, these are good topics, because I feel like the lack of misunderstanding is so crucial to getting along with people, to having new friends. I'm very lucky I met you, and I've said this before, super lucky I met you, because you are on the same type of intensity as I. You work as hard as I work. You are focused as you're stubborn like me sometimes. So we both drive forward. We're like two bulls. We just keep charging. And so it is so easy to be your friend. And what can I say, dude? I'm just very blessed to know you. But another thing that I think interferes with the understanding of people is, I touched on it a little bit, the patience. We need to be patient. Sometimes we meet the right people at the wrong time. Good people. But it's the lack of patience that we don't want to understand why they are the way they are. Maybe especially too, if we meet somebody who is working on themselves, and trust me, they will reach a better version of themselves, but you're not going to see it because of your lack of patience, and you decide to walk away. Not to say, because these topics could be wishy-washy, not to say that you got to put up with bad traits, or you got to put up with their toxic ways. But if they're not that, and they just need some time to come around, then you're gonna miss out on a good person because of your lack of patience. there's a difference between what I just said with putting up with toxicity. I'm not referring to that. Those are narcissists. But hey, man, we need to have patience for people, because if we don't, we might miss a good opportunity to actually have a good person in our lives. And I could have done that with our friendship partner, because you and I, when we first met, we were misunderstanding each other. And if I would have just given up and said, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this, I would have missed out on a really good person. But I had the patience to try to learn from you and understand you eventually.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's what made us a solid friendship, or solid understanding on how we operate. You know, it's all these things that we had to put aside. You know, the jealousy, the lack of respect, the lack of patience, the ego, even the control. Man, I couldn't control what you were destined to do. You know, and you did the same for me. You know, you let me flourish in my way where I needed to flourish. Exactly. You know, and that's what makes us understand each other even more, because, for instance, like when we had that, it wasn't an accident. It was more like it was just, I was trying my hardest to work on these trucks, these dualies, and I wouldn't get it right. And, you know, I told you know what, you got mad at me because I was stubborn, right, to get these trucks up on the rack, not knowing if I was gonna fail or not. But it was my motivation to get it done and get it done right. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. And that's when you decided to let your control diminish. And
I stepped back.
Yes, and then you understood what it took for me to get it done. So all that, like all these, like I said, all these traits that we need to put aside, we have to set back and just start to understand why it is that these people are trying to get certain things done. So, yeah, man, I think this is a damn good topic on why we misunderstand a lot of people that are in our lives now. You know, whether they're going for their PhD, whether they're going for a new business, another business. You know, these are the things where we need to let our control, our ego, and all that stuff just put aside. You know, and to start to understand why it is that they're doing. You know, they're obviously trying to do this for their future. So why not applaud them? Why not give them a pat on the back and say, hey, you're doing the best you can. I know that you can do better. You know, those are the things that we need to start hearing or start tweaking, so that we can start understanding people a little bit better now.
Oh, how about this one? Yes, and referring back to the trucks, you're right. I was trying to control what you were doing, but then what made me change my mind and just let go of the wheel and say, okay, you take action then, was because I'm like, he's just like me. We get stubborn and we face challenges face on. And I'm so glad that you did that, because I face challenges in my own world, in my own way, and so do you. And that's what makes us who we are. That's what makes us such fighters. That's what makes us such relentless people. And now I have so much respect for you because of what you did. You decided to go for it, and you made our business a lot better because of you're far more experienced on heavier equipment, right? Yeah. Heavier trucks. Right. How about this? How about my lack of trust you had patience for? You would tell me that I can trust you. You would try to show me that I can trust you, but I just couldn't come around fast enough, right? Yeah. I couldn't come fast enough, so then you decided to wait it out and have patience for me. Right. And now I could say wholeheartedly, you're my best friend and I trust you. I trust you with the things that I tell you, and I know life isn't perfect, right? I know life isn't perfect. I know you or I are bound to make a mistake or whatever, but that our foundation as friends is so strong that I have full confidence that you and I will work it out somehow.
Yeah, definitely.
So the lack of trust that I had in general, not just towards you, in general, you gave me patience. And I eventually came around, and now it's like there's no questions asked, you know? It's an amazing feeling to have trust again. And I thank you for that. But yes, you and I have come through some battles and some hills, but because I wanted to understand you, this is where it's gotten me. A good, solid friendship with you, because of all the things that we just discussed and that we applied. Because we don't just talk out of our butts. We say things that have worked for us. We say things that we've experienced. So the jealousy, we don't compete with each other. We compete. We don't compete against each other. We compete together. You and I want to see I want to see you succeed, and you want to see me succeed. There's never any jealousy. And it's a beautiful friendship. The lack of respect, you won't find it here. We respect each other. We have patience for each other. My ego, yeah, I'm still working on my ego. It comes and goes, but it doesn't affect you and I. I feel like you and I will come around and say, okay, you know what? Hear me out. This is what pissed me off. I'm working on my ego towards others because I am very defensive sometimes. The control. Oh man, it feels so good to let go of control. It feels amazing. When I see or hear something I don't like, or someone does something I don't like, I'm like, you know what? I can only control myself. I let go of control. I let bygones be bygones. I let them be them. And it feels good to not be able, it feels good to not have to want to control somebody's life. It feels amazing because all I got to worry about is myself. I can't even control my own sons, okay? I could just give them advice and try to love them for who they are. Because these values and these traits that we just discussed, I apply them in my sons too, right? The lack of compassion, the empathy, the trying to understand somebody. Trust me, it works. It works because I feel like I'm a better mother. I feel like I'm a better daughter. I bump heads with my mom sometimes, with my sisters. And then I say, okay, try to understand why they are who they are, etc. So, hey man, it's a beautiful thing.
There you have it, guys. I think that's about wrapping it up already. For you guys have anything that we should touch on, please do not hesitate to hit us up on YouTube where you can find us, or email us. We are all ears, and we have a lot to say on things that are important, on our daily lifestyles. And just one more thing, misunderstanding why my truck wasn't operating the way that it was. I gave it patience. I gave it its respect, and of course it needed money.
Who and what doesn't?
Yeah. But I had to practice these things, and sure enough, once I gave it its time, once I gave it the money, the respect that it needed, it revived, and now I'm understanding more, because it's not just one thing that's triggered, it's multiple things. So there you have it, guys. That's all the time we have right now. Until next time, hope you guys tune in. And anything else you want to say, partner?
That's it, man. Everybody keep on doing the best you can. Trust me, your time has come.
There you go, guys. Be safe out there. Peace and love, you guys. Catch you guys next time.